How does a tornado form? And where do they happen? That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to take a look at our story. Hi, everybody. Are you ready to rock? That's what I thought. All right, well, let's move on. Tornado. What is it? Well, we talked a lot about yesterday. It is a spinning cloud. Usually tornadoes happen. Most tornadoes happen as thunderstorms. And they get more and stronger and stronger. And then there's lots of thunder, lots of lightning. Now these rough storms have very, very big breezes and winds, high winds, strong winds you'll hear. Now, what happens with the wind is somehow the temperature and everything around it begins to spin in a circle. We talked about that spinning cloud. But the wind can spin to the ground. Okay, so the clouds are coming down. You see that spinning cloud, it comes down. And when it touches the ground, that is when we call it a tornado. I shouldn't say that too loud. I think my neighbors might think that I'm giving them some kind of a warning. Never mind. All right, so now they know it's not a real tornado coming. I don't want to scare anybody. So yeah, then it becomes a tornado. Once it touches the ground, we call it a tornado. Now, these tornadoes that touch on the ground, they do not stay on the ground for a long time, only a little while, okay? These tornadoes only stay on the ground for a little while, not for an hour. That's a long time. Not for 10 days, not for years, not for months, not for weeks, not even for minutes. It's only around for a short time. And, maybe less than a minute, maybe less than 5 minutes. So it comes and then it goes, okay? It can't stay on the ground for a long time. Still, even though it's a short amount of time and it's only there for a little bit, a couple minutes, it can destroy and ruin homes. So it's very, very powerful storm. And by ruining the homes, what happens is a word called damage. These homes can be damaged in big ways. I mean, I'm not talking about, there's a bump in the wall or something. I'm talking about the entire roof getting ripped off, blown to the next neighbor's yard. All right, so the roofs, and you've seen some of the damaged pictures that I had sent in the Nearpod. I think there's only 2 of them, but just one of them, the house has moved into the road and just like pushed into the street. And the other one, you can see the roof is ripped off. I mean, almost like, it's just peeling back the roof and just gone. It's unbelievable. So all this damage and all this harm, it's a really big event, we call it, okay? And just like Miss Duncan's birthday, a tornado is also a very big event. I mean, granted, we had a lot more fun at her birthday party at the Zoom chat than anybody involved in a tornado, because it's not a very happy time. It's, you want to be safe and you want to just make sure that everybody's okay and you're making the right choices. Now, where do these things happen? I don't see any tornadoes today. We learned that sometimes we can have tiny baby earthquakes every day. They happen all the time. Tornadoes do not happen all the time, okay? So most tornadoes happen in the United States. So believe it or not, even though I'm telling you that it doesn't happen near your home in New York, our country, the United States of America, has more tornadoes than anywhere else. More than Africa, more than Spain, more than Italy, more than China, more than India, more than any other place on earth you can think of. The United States is filled with tornadoes. We just have the most here. And most of them happen here. They take place in an area or a certain place called Tornado Alley. They've actually given it a name. So it's so big of a place that it's around a couple of states, okay? So it's not like this part of this town. But these are called Tornado Alley because they're in that area, in that section of land in the United States that gets a lot of tornadoes. And that's just what it is. I mean, they can't say they don't, because they do. My neighbor across the street, a very nice man, he was a policeman, and he retired and he moved to Texas. And when we had a hurricane, he was like, oh boy, you got some pretty rough weather up there, huh, the hurricane? And then when we hear about tornadoes, we call him and hoping that he's okay and he's safe with his family because we worry about him. So everybody has a different kind of dangerous weather to worry about, but tornadoes are not one for us. It's really interesting to learn about them though, because they're so powerful, and we're still learning so much more, scientists. But yeah, there's a special place in the United States of America that's kind of like the middle of the United States, and that is called the Tornado Alley. Like tornadoes love, hitting the ground there. So, and scientists, they have this feeling that most tornadoes form there more than any other place in the world because of this flat land. Okay, because if it was hilly, the tornado would go up in the air and it would disappear. But if they have this flat land and the tornado spins, the cloud spins on the land, and and the air, some of that warm air mixes with cool air. Now that's how thunderstorms happen. Hot and cold get together, thunderstorm. So warm air, cool air getting together, and lots of it, two different fronts coming together. Yeah, that's Tornado Central. So this place that has, and not only homes, you know how powerful trees are? A tornado is strong enough to rip a tree out of the ground and just push it over. So trees are very, very strong resources, natural resources that we have in our earth. And this is such a powerful storm. It could ruin or destroy, crush a home or a tree. Tomorrow's video, we're going to talk about something really important. We talked about damage to the home, but we didn't really talk a lot about how do tornadoes affect people. Now, people can work together to help clean up some of the mess and work as a team so the work can get done faster, and it makes it a lot easier for everybody. If one person went out there with a shovel and a rake, it would take them months and months. But if each person go out, and just take a look at this picture, all these people that go back after the storm, and they help put these things back together, they help rebuild. And that's a really special way that the community works together and shows how much they care about each other. Pretty awesome thing to do. All right, guys, everybody have a super day, and I believe tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how tornadoes affect people, and then we'll start getting into some ways to stay safe. All right, everybody, have a nice night. See you next time.